No matter how many trials are carried out against the twice impeached, thrice indicted, liable for sexual abuse former disgraced president, a paramount fact remains. The GOP just can't get enough of him. Trump is the current frontrunner in the 2024 Republican primary, with his lead growing every day, even with 3 indictments and possibly another in the pipeline. But this time, it's different. This time, he's running from the law. And if that makes you feel uneasy about what's at stake for the entire country, you're not alone. Our next guest explains. Trump is left with 2 options for the road ahead. Either win that 2024 presidential election or go to jail. Joining me now, Elie Mystal, justice correspondent at The Nation, host of the podcast Contempt of Court, and author of Allow Me to Retort, A Black Guy's Guide to the Constitution. Elie, my friend, walk us through your breakdown of Trump's fate. How do you expect all of this to play out, and how does it go down in history?
Yeah, so this is really the first time in American history where a person has had to win the office of the presidency in order to stay out of jail. Now, that puts Trump on par with, other coup leaders, other insurrection leaders the world over, but it's the first time it's happened here, right? And one of the things that we can ascertain based on history, based on how other countries do it, is that most of the other countries do not let their attempted coup leaders get another shot at running for president. Our country is. We're going to try to do this in such a way that still gives Trump an opportunity to run for president and win the power he so desperately needs to stay out of jail, right? And that's because even if he's convicted, look, even if you believe that this is going to go, that this case is built for speed, and somehow he's going to be magically brought to trial before the election and convicted and sentenced and see the inside of a jail cell before the election, even if you believe all of that, there's no bar on Trump running from president from prison, right? There's no constitutional problem with him running for president from prison, and he can do that because he wasn't charged with insurrection, right? And there are a lot of reasons why he wasn't. I'm not second guessing Jack Smith. I get why we're here. But without the insurrection charge, without the sedition charge, there's no way to trigger the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which is the only thing that could have barred him from seeking higher office. He wasn't impeached. He wasn't charged with sedition. He gets to run again, and that is weird on the world stage.
Elie, we talk about that phrase, sunlight being the best disinfectant. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, I just had her on before you. She, along with several House Democrats, have signed a letter asking, if not demanding, that Trump's trials be televised. Could Chief Justice John Roberts actually be compelled to allow Trump's trials to be broadcast?
Compelled? No. Could he wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, this should be televised and I'm going to make that happen? Yes, it's completely within John Roberts' control to make it happen, but nobody can force it to happen because he's a Supreme Court justice appointed for life. And a lot of times I say that's a bad idea, but here we are. So hopefully John Roberts does the right thing. We shall see in the future. But I want to pick up on the other thing that the Congresswoman was saying and that you were talking about with Kevin McCarthy, because unfortunately I have, so you guys don't do it. I have spent my weekend reading the Wall Street Journal and Jonathan Turley and a bunch of bad faith, bad lawyers who are making terrible arguments out there about Trump's legal defenses, right? And you've heard, I'm sure, Katie, this argument that, this is just, he's being prosecuted for free speech. And that is an idiot argument. I mean, to put it very clearly, look, this is live, right, Katie? I can sit here on live television and say, I am a Nigerian prince. And that's not a crime. And everybody I could say, I just got off the plane. I'm from that. Once I say I'm a Nigerian prince, please give me your credit card information so that I may, release my own fund. Now we've gone from a lie that is not criminal to fraud, which is criminal. And that is the difference. And that is what Trump has done. He has taken his lies and turned them into fraud by trying to obstruct the elections process, by trying to change the vote count, and by trying to deprive people of their civil rights. That's not free speech. That is fraud. And people like Turley, people like the Wall Street Journal, they know better. They're just engaging in their First Amendment right to lie.
Elie, 5 out of the 6 co-conspirators in this latest Trump indictment, they're lawyers. I'm not going to say the Shakespeare quote, right? What's the first thing that we do is blank the lawyers. But you and I are lawyers. It bothers me immensely, deeply, that 5 out of the 6 co-conspirators are lawyers in that indictment. How far off the path of decency and ethical decency have these lawyers veered when they're assisting and conspiring to commit crimes in violation of federal statutes to aid somebody like Donald Trump?
Yeah, I mean, that's the FedSoc for you, right? What these people have done is try to use the law to overthrow democracy. And quite frankly, the FedSoc has been doing that kind of more subtly for like a generation, right? These guys were on the kind of intellectual weak end of doing it, so they're like brazen and foolish about it. But like the fundamental premise here that you can use legal tricks and lies and misinformation to overturn democracy and kind of control how the country operates, that's not new. This comes from Bush v. Gore. This is the same idea behind Bush v. Gore, just a little more illegal, right? And it kind of worked out for them in Bush v. Gore, so they kind of thought it would work out for them again, and they went too far. They crossed too many lines here, and so now they're in trouble. But I'm not embarrassed for them as lawyers, because this is what these people do, and that's what they've been doing for a generation.
Elie Mystal, I've always looked at you as being legal royalty, so I'm going to zell you. I'll zell you my information, my Nigerian prince. I'll do that when we're done today. Elie Mystal, get back to your kids and tell them that just because Donald Trump has been indicted, we still have work to be done. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Always. Cheers.